Promise I won't be too long. It's been a pretty good evening so far time-wise, but some real special people here tonight. Never knew they called you Xander, although I did see you do a lot of really good things here, so congratulations to you, Xander. Bailey, obviously I saw you quite a bit. You were around the guys all the time. Actually, even probably because of some of the other lacrosse girls made an appearance at the senior get-together. So I do definitely remember that because you weren't really supposed to be there because you weren't a senior yet. So yes, but that was fun. So congratulations to both of you. Quick shout out before we start with Brady, because I know he's so psyched right now to get up here on the podium. He's been looking forward to this for 2 years. Got to give a shout out to the guy that brought me here 28 years ago, the legend himself, Dr. Neil Johnson. Okay, and it's always great to see you guys come back because you need to really know what it means when you come back and spend some time with him, to all the wrestling guys. So thanks for coming back, guys. It means a lot. Brady. So first and foremost, I want to thank your parents, Dawn and Bruce, for being here tonight. So it's awesome to see you again. It's been a few years, but thanks for being here. A special, extra special thanks to Grandma Dorothy for being here tonight. So it's awesome that you're here tonight as well. Also, Brady's sister, Chelsea. So I know you from Instagram a little bit better from back in the day. Met you years ago. Now we kind of, Brady and I and things, so it's nice to get a name and a face and see everybody together here. And also a special thanks for Brady's girlfriend, Kristen, for being here tonight. It's great to see you. And awesome that Pat came here from Carolina, you told me today?
Oh, yeah.
North Carolina?
Yeah.
So thanks so much. It means a lot for you to be here for Brady. I know a lot of the other guys want to be here for this kind of stuff, but it's just so hard. Everybody's all over the place. And certainly COVID doesn't make things any easier for anybody. So thank you guys for being here. It means an awful lot. And to Brady, to your parents, like one of the things that for me, having my own kids, I have 15, 13-year-old boys, like I try to, I really work hard at trying to be a great parent. It's a challenge for us that have all been there, for you that may be there, a lot of young people over here that may be there someday. It's a challenge to do everything right all the time, but when you have some kids that come through, like for me, I've been doing this a long time, and to have kids come through like Brady, it makes me want to just pin his parents down and talk to them about what did you do, how did you do it, and how did you create this person, right? So I try to get as many tips from parents that have done such a wonderful job with a great kid like Brady. So don't leave tonight before you give me some tips, okay? A little bit about Brady. Just a quick breakdown of how this whole thing with Brady started. It started with my assistant coach, Benny Gable, who's now over at Clarkson University, coaching the women's team, is also assistant athletic director there. But he saw Brady play at a tournament the fall of his senior year. One thing led to another. Brady ended up here. The story with Brady, though, is much deeper and how it became lacrosse versus another sport. His junior year, Brady was a big hockey player. Some of us, hockey's my favorite sport, always has been. Was Brady's certainly favorite sport, and he wanted to chase hockey. Well, we all learned that chasing hockey is a really hard thing, but we don't want to take a dream away from a kid, and he chased hockey hard that junior year and decided not to play high school lacrosse. He's at West Genesee. This is the power of the state of New York with the legendary winningest coach of all time. Went on, did the hockey, didn't do lacrosse his junior year. Comes back his senior year, plays the fall tournament. We see him play. Wow, this kid's athletic. You know, Brady didn't play a position where he scored 50 goals a year and had 50 assists. Brady had a specialty. He was a defensive kind of a guy. We recruit him, goes off for his team his senior year, gets cut. That's tough. We're recruiting a guy that got cut. We believe in him, right? I'm very loyal to hockey guys, right? Those are the kind of guys that I want, right? They got that mentality and that grit that we're all looking for as a coach. So we stay with Brady. Brady, we want you. We saw you play. I know you're a hockey guy, and I kind of started feeling this connection with Brady throughout his senior year when we were still recruiting him. He didn't make the team. Brady, we still want you. Don't worry about it. Brady comes up here. At that point, I think he was real thankful to have a place, right? Hockey wasn't working, you know, and let's be honest, we both wanted to play college hockey. I think that's how Brady and I became so close, because we were very similar people, right? We loved our hockey. Unfortunately, right, Brady, we weren't good enough to play college hockey. That's special. Like, those guys are special, right? He wanted to go to college. He didn't want to go play juniors for 3 years and be 21 when he goes to college. Some guys do. He didn't. He ended up here. So, lucky for us. All right? Quick rundown of Brady's career. Freshman year, right? He hasn't played 2 years. 2 years he hasn't played lacrosse. He's here as a freshman. Wide-eyed. All right? A couple of his buddies from his hometown area are already here that he knows. Doesn't do a lot his freshman year. Kind of, you know, whoa, I got to catch up. Sophomore year, 2011, he grinds the whole year, off season, comes in, now he's a man. Comes back from the summer, he's a man. He's big, strong, determined. Leads our team, our defense. We go to the SUNYAC championship, lose to Cortland. Like, that's usually what happens with us. We can get as far as we can get, but Cortland always seems to end it. They always have to be there. All right, but Brady leads our team. You know, he leads our team the whole way, the whole defense. And the one thing about Brady's short stick, D-midi, means very little to anybody in here, okay, other than the lacrosse people. But that is a position that gets no glory other than from the head coach. They've always been my favorite players. They're never in the newspaper. They're never on a stat sheet. They're never getting interviewed, all right? A lot of times they don't get the prettiest girlfriend, okay? There's a lot of things that the short stick D-middies, it just doesn't work out. Brady, because he was so great, he got all those things, okay? And he's got them all today, okay? So Brady ends up going into his junior year, captain. Here's a guy 2 years ago didn't play lacrosse. Now he's a captain. High school coach cut him 2 years ago. Now he's a captain of a college team, leading the team. Again, started every game sophomore year, every game junior year. Now he's a captain. We go into his senior year. Okay, we don't make the playoffs his junior year. He is really not happy. Not happy. Okay, we come back to senior year. We grind it out. We get McConnell, one of his buddies from home, another huge piece to the defense. In fact, Brady and Ryan McConnell together are D-middies, as good as there was in the SUNYAC. Okay, Brady ends his senior year as the team defensive MVP, first team All-SUNYAC, in which he beat out the year before the guy that was the first team All-SUNYAC, short stick D-middie, was a second team All-American. They were both in the same class. This kid came back as a senior, a second team All-American the year before, and Brady proved to everybody in the conference that he was better, and Brady became first team. That kid was second team. So that leads to Brady being All-American, which we're really fortunate. I've been really fortunate to have 8 All-Americans play for me here, which is a really hard thing to find those guys. But Brady wasn't an All-American when he got here. And for the other coaches, we need to create these guys and get out what they have inside of them. And that's what we were able to do with Brady. You know, we were able to just keep grinding him, keep pushing him, and then we can't do it alone. They have to have it. And I think that's what was so special about Brady, is he had that, and we were fortunate to pull that out of him to make him a third-team All-American, to be on the walls of Maxey Hall forever, to now be in the Hall of Fame. He's got a Hall of Fame certificate and plaque. He's got an All-American plaque. You know, people are going to know about Brady Fremont for a long time, because when you go through and you look at those, he's there, right? So great career. The last thing that I really want to say to Brady, you know, just that our relationship, you know, I don't know if I've ever told you, but it was really special to me. And you were a guy that I was awful proud of, because I know when you came in here, you were wide-eyed, not really sure about anything. College, let alone playing lacrosse. I know it was, should I go to college, should I not go to college, am I playing a sport, do you want me to play? You know, all those thoughts and decisions were in your mind when you got here as a young guy, right? And I always felt that just me and you had a lot in common. You know, from the first time I met you, you know, we strike up hockey conversations, you know, and then the next thing I know, we're talking about deer hunting, and we're talking about fishing and the outdoors, and all those kind of things are me. And now we're talking about this, and we developed this relationship, and I knew from your freshman year, you would at least be a captain for 1 year, if not 2. And that's just something, I guess, when you do this for 28 years at the same place, you get an idea about people when you first meet them. And I always saw that in you, and I'm glad that we were able to bring that out in you to be such a great leader for our team, take us to a SUNYAC championship, become an All-American, because you certainly deserve that. And, you know, you got a special place in my heart, bud. And it means a lot that you're here tonight, and it means a lot to me that you're going into Hall of Fame, because you really deserve it. All right, so without any further ado, it's my honor and privilege. I know he's psyched to get up here right now. Let's go, Brady Fremont. Easy.
So this is the Athletic Hall of Fame, not the Public Speaking Hall of Fame that I'm going into here. So we'll start there. To start, I'd like to thank both of my parents, my sister and my grandmother, for endless hours traveling to games, freezing in the stands, sharing joyful wins, and pushing me through tough losses. If you recognize my mother, it's likely because she rarely missed a game, home or away. Even when I was justifiably buried on the depth chart as a freshman, I knew that she would be there, and at very best, watch me stretch in warm-ups. As the self-proclaimed team mom, this ceremony should be just as much about you as it is about us. I love you. Thank you. When it comes to never missing a game, my father is right there at the top of the list. As excited as he was for me to be inducted, he seemed even more excited to travel back here and watch me play in the alumni game. Dad, thanks for teaching me that regardless the obstacle, there's always a solution. Adversity equals opportunity. Now, to Coach, picture this. You kind of stole my glory on this part, but we get it. It's 2009. I attend my recruiting trip to Potsdam in a fluorescent pink polo. Sit down with Coach and listen to him tell me I'm going to leave school in 4 years as an All-American. I'm sold and I commit. A few months later, I'm forced to call Coach and explain to him that I was just cut from my varsity lacrosse team my senior year. To my surprise, Coach told me to stay in shape, keep my stick in my hands, and he would see me in the fall. Freshman year, Coach and I's relationship was exactly what you would expect between maybe the last player to make the roster and a head coach who thought he was getting a difference maker. When pregame shooting shirts were passed out, I was never asked my size. After receiving a double XL, I look at Coach like, what is this? And he looked at me and told me to make it fit. It's a true story. That's it. Coach helped me realize everything will be earned. There is no handouts. With more and more frequent trips to third floor Maxi comes a little more strength and a little more speed. With that comes playing time, and with that, Coach and I's relationship starts to grow. With the willingness and self-discipline to improve, Coach and I now see eye to eye, sharing the same burning desire to win. Fast forward to my senior year as team captain, and we're having daily conversations regarding all details of each and every game, even who should play. Coach and I shared special moments, but one sticks out above the rest. Senior year, shortly after the season had ended, he calls me and tells me that I'm being selected as an All-American. This news helped me swallow the pill that my athletic career was over. He tells me, this is something that doesn't go away and you will carry with you for the rest of your life. For some time, I agreed, thinking that it may look nice on a resume or to boast to future children about. As I grow older and pretend to mature, it becomes clear what he really meant. It's up to you. You control your own destiny. If you want to be better, get better. Self-discipline, willingness to lead, and the craving for winning were the deciding factors. Obviously, I'd like to congratulate Alexander and Bailey for their inductions also. As you both said, it's special to have watched you guys compete and gone to school at the same time and all get into the hall together. Of course, I'd love to thank my girlfriend, Kristen. I know it sounds like a cliche, but she really is the better half of me. No personal or professional success in the last 4 years happens without her. She constantly encourages me to do the things I am passionate about, and I can't wait for our future together. I'd also like to thank Mr. and Mrs. Devanna for taking this long drive back, and it's easy to see where Kristen gets her supportiveness from. Individual accolades are great, but none of them come without great teammates and coaches. I am blessed to have played with and for some unbelievable people who I have created long-standing relationships with. After our senior season, I remember having a conversation with Coach Burke at La Cantina. I was telling him how individual accolades were so far beyond any goals that I had set for myself prior to the season. My focus, as he knows, was always on winning, and how I would trade any of the awards for a couple more postseason victories. Today, I'm still willing to make a trade. I trade any and all awards for a couple more road trips with the boys, a couple more locker room celebrations after a victory, or a couple more freezing cold early morning Saturday practices in the snow. I'm grateful to have been part of this university, and thank you all for being here tonight.